My people, it's your boy. No intro today. We're just gonna get straight into it. This is actually the third take. Um, I'm actually zapped of all my energy, which is probably a good thing because the other two takes were a bit more explosive. I can't lie. But quick disclaimer for the video: I wasn't able to watch the game in much detail or pay much attention because unfortunately I had a class, and the class also had a surprise quiz. But thank the Lord, I did well in that. I did decent actually. But yeah, um, seems another day, another error, another bad decision made, another 3 points dropped, another waste of time. PSG 5, Chelsea 2. And yeah, I've actually calmed down quite a bit now. But what an embarrassment, mainly for the manager, for Philip Jorgensen. Where do I even start? I mean, I've just completely lost my train of thought doing this for a third time now. Don't know why I didn't save, but here we are. I'm actually looking at football right now and I'm looking at the ratings of the players. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Malo Gusto, the one French man I like today. Scores a beautiful goal. On a 1-0 behind. My boy Enzo Fernandez scores a second goal. Over 2-1 behind. Assisted by Pedro Neto, little speedster on the wing. Really, other than those three players, you have to question the rest. I'm gonna Philip Jorgensen. I'm leaving. I'm leaving you for last. And I may be laughing now, but if I don't laugh, I will cry. If I don't smile, I will cry. But this is not a laughing matter. We've just lost 5-2. 5-2 at the Parc de Prince. De Prince. However you pronounce that in French, bro. How can we go from having the game at 2-2, it looking like a positive result for Chelsea, to then it being 5-2? Doesn't even look like a mountain to climb anymore at Stamford Bridge. It literally looks like a straight up vertical climb. I'm not even going to say we, certain individuals have made the second leg harder than it needed to be. Certain individuals have potentially cost us, potentially thrown us out of the Champions League this season. Cole Palmer, again, this is all I can say from what I saw. You look like lukewarm Palmer, bro. João Pedro, I saw you scored, but it was ruled out as offside. We can't we can't keep relying on one man constantly. But it looks like Footmob as well. It looks like he just had an average game. Caicedo, average. Cucurella, average. Reece James, average. I did see you giving up a ball in the midfield that led to PSG scoring. Nearly made me crash out in my music class. I'm not even a music major, bro. I don't care about music. But I have common decency not to crash out in front of the people. Really had to bite my tongue on that one. I was actually texting my boys, what did we do to deserve Reece James? I was after, I remember the play now. But you got out of pressure really well. And I was like, wow, wow. But everyone has to hold criticism, bro. So you have to hold that criticism today. The two centre backs I'm seeing, Chalobah with a 4.3, Fofana with a 4.5. Again, I can't really comment much as I didn't watch the game in much detail and as much attention as I usually do. But I did notice a lot of open spaces in the middle channel. All I can think of is Bradley Barcola's goal. How does he have that much space in the box? Fantastic finish, though. But if we want to improve, we have to look at what we could have done to prevent that. I'm sure there's also other errors made in the game for you guys to have ratings that bad. Philip Jorgensen. This is going to be Philip Jorgensen and Liam Rossini. Because it really does start with the manager, Liam Rossini. Oh, I want a modern day goalkeeper. Plays up from the back. It does not matter. It doesn't matter when it's as bad as Jorgensen. It doesn't matter when you put us in these situations that make us throw the whole game. And what I mean by that is when the game is 2-2, Philip Jorgensen basically passes it straight to a PSG player right in front of him instead of booting it long, instead of kicking it out of the stadium, and we concede. And when it's a stupid goal like that, pardon my language, when it's a ridiculous goal like that, when it's a ridiculous goal like that, you can sort of see players thinking, what the hell is the keeper doing? That creates bad energy into the team. And before you know it, 4-2, 5-2. We went from what looked like a very positive result for us to now having to make these sort of videos, to now having to criticize players like this, to now thinking, can we do it at the bridge? This is ridiculous. This is beyond ridiculous that Liam Rossini can drop Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez, who's been our best goalkeeper this season, improved from last season. Majority of the games this season has been fantastic. Played against PSG in the Club World Cup final. Kept a clean sheet, by the way, or conceded. I think he kept a clean sheet. He has the experience against PSG, and he gets dropped. He gets dropped in possibly the biggest game of the season for Philip Jorgensen because of the ball playing ability, mate. Yeah, ball playing ability that ended up with PSG scoring from probably the easiest goal the score this season. Because Philip Jorgensen decides to try and thread a pass in a space like this big. Not even Iniesta and Xavi were doing that, bro. What went through his mind when he saw like 3, 4 PSG players pressing us high and not booting it long? We even see Enzo Fernandez start shouting at him, boot it, kick it long. They're pressing us so high. This is how we won against PSG in the Club World Cup. When we couldn't play out of the back, Sanchez could boot it long. Malo Gusto chased. We saw him take advantage of Nuno Mendes and lays it off to Palmer to score. So when you ask, and this has to come from the manager as well, because why are we insisting when we have 3, 4 PSG players right up against our back line and the spaces have opened up behind? Why do we still insist to try and play to our players, to put them in that sort of position, in that sort of pressure? When there's acres of space in behind, when we have Pedro Neto, one of the fastest players in the world, not even in the league, in the world. Of course, Hakimi is fast as well. But if you were watching the game as well, Hakimi was pressing high as well. There was so much space. The way Pedro Neto assisted Enzo Fernandez, Hakimi had stepped. Actually, yeah, Hakimi had stepped. Pedro Neto had actually done well getting the ball off Due, and he was up against Marquinhos, and there was yards of space for him to run into. And he gets the assist for Enzo Fernandez. There's certain decision making that needs to be questioned. And the questioning, the first person in the line of fire is the manager. Because how can you drop Robert Sanchez? And how can we see news right before the game saying that leaked news that you're telling Philip Jorgensen he's now the number one goalkeeper? Mums, he's not the number one goalkeeper. On everything, we are not, as Chelsea fans, we are not allowing him as the number one goalkeeper. because he gets an opportunity like this. And I'm not even, this is not an overreaction because this is the Champions League. We've had the world watch us collect 5 goals at the Parc des Princes. Bro, I'm seeing my friends are messaging me. My friends are messaging me, all yapping. Guys that are losing to Galatasaray, now they have the confidence to speak up. What's going on? Guys that barely managed a win against Leverkusen, now they're speaking up. Liam Rosinha, you have put us under this position. And let me be clear. Let me be clear. Let me be frank. Let me be Lampard. Philip Jorgensen is not good enough. This guy could have had all the IT training in the world. He still can't save a Word document, bro. This guy cannot save anything. Anything. So, looking into the future, we have Newcastle next, and then we host PSG again. I'm gonna be simple. Newcastle needs to be a win. Simple as that. Dead it off. We are in a Champions League battle for top four, top five in the league. You need to dead that game off. You need to kill it off. You need to finish that game. And then we have PSG at home. And let me tell you something. As much as this game has annoyed me, as much as certain people in this club have annoyed me, to back my team. I have to go into that game. Any Chelsea fan must go into that game with the energy, with the good energy with the thoughts, with the ideas of remontada, with the ideas of coming off with a win, with the idea of a miracle. And if we do, we progress. And if we don't, Liam Rosinha, this is a sackable offence. Philip Jorgensen, this is a being sold offence. Being loaned out to Strasbourg or wherever you can get game time, fix up your decision making, bro. And I'd like to reiterate again, Liam Rosinha, this is a sackable offence. If we lose at home to PSG, if we're knocked out, this is a sackable offence. Because mind you, you've thrown us out of the Carabao Cup. You're doing well in the league. You are doing well in the league. But you've thrown us out of the Carabao Cup. How do you get bested by Arsenal 3 times in a row in the space of, I don't even know what, a month? Now, you've thrown us out of the Champions League. Because I want a ball playing goalkeeper. I want him to use his feet. Man's not a midfielder, bro. He's a goalkeeper. He should be number one priority. He should be stopping the shots. Once he's good at stopping the shots, then you can ask him to start playing off in the back. This is a sackable offense. If we don't win at Stamford Bridge, and let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm not hoping we lose. I do not want us to lose. I want us to win the Champions League. I want to parade. I want to boast. I want to love my team, bro. I don't want to be making these videos. I want us to win. I'm going into that game with the idea of we need to score 3 or more goals and we need to keep a clean sheet. With the idea that it's possible. With the idea that we are Chelsea Football Club. We have the players to do so. We have the historic heritage to do so. We have the fans to do so. But if we lose, this is a sackable offense, Liam Rosinha. Thank you, my people, for supporting the videos. Thank you for supporting the channel in general. This is, I have no words. I just want to say thank you for supporting the channels. Thank you for supporting the video. There will be a match reaction for Newcastle. And of course, second leg versus PSG right after. Sorry, this one's a bit late. Again, had class, all that. And this is now the third take. Now the third take. We've gone through it. And again, I just want to thank you, my people, for the support. And be ready for the match reaction versus Newcastle.